Welcome back, guys, to the Blockchain Brew Show. The Brew Crew's in the house. We got lots of stuff for you today. Actually, we have some stuff for you. I'm going to say lots of stuff. We're going to go over what happened today in the dailies, and we're going to go over our beer. We're going to talk about a little bit and some tariff news and some Bitcoin news and an XRP news, because who doesn't love XRP? Trent doesn't. Blame him. I'm just kidding. He likes XRP almost more than Ada, I think. But anyways, don't forget, guys, before we get started, smash that like. Boom. Make that mic shake. Hit the bell to subscribe. It's so elegant. And I would say we got garbage fines for the day, but honestly, I was in a hurry and I didn't see anything that stood out. And I'm kind of worried because I don't know if I'll be able to top a freaking saxophone unless I find a gold dentures or a 15-year-old laptop that has Bitcoin on it. So that might be the only two things I'll top that. But today I got Breakside Wanderlust, the Wolf Howl. And it is Portland, Oregon, employee owned, which I don't, that's like Winco. I don't know. You know, Winco, and you own a part of the company when you work there. It's 1 pint. Try to find the percentage on here. 6.5%. What is this? What type of beer is this? Oh, it's an IPA. Okay, there you go. I was like trying to figure out if it was a pale. I've been drinking so many blonde ales and all this other stuff, but I'm breaking out the big boy today. So pop. Ooh, screw back. I tried to do this yesterday. Sweet. Pop it open. I have to open it backwards for you guys. Where's the mic? There we go. All right. We're going. Oh, I got a new mug today. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. I need a crypto. Okay, well, I got about 10 inches of head, so I'm sure it's going to taste great in about 5 minutes when I get there. What do you got drinking for us, Trent? I'm going to let that fizzle down.
Well, I've got a new one on the Blockchain Brew Show, and I've got Arc of Lightning.
Whoa.
Oh, actually,
look at that.
I'll share my screen real quick. Come over here and let you guys see this little pour.
Is that you pouring it?
Nah, that's on North Park Brewing's Instagram.
The only thing weird about that pour that he did is that it looks like it gets darker as he poured it.
Lighting, maybe. So, this here is actually a collaboration between North Park Brewing in sunny San Diego, California, and Electric Brewing Company in Murrieta, California. So we've got Arc of Lightning. It is a triple dry hopped hazy double IPA. And it's hot. You can see the two logos right there of the two breweries that collabed on it, Electric and North Park. And it is hopped with Citra Dynaboost, Citra Cyro, Citra, Galaxy, and Crush Cyro. So give our little ASMR crack. And
not too bad. Not too
pour.
shabby. Hey, you gotta do like the video. Up high, make it, I don't know, make it, yeah. And you're drinking it out of a monkish glass.
Yeah. I don't have a North Park or an Electric glass, so.
It's okay. Hey, yours are pretty good. I'm still sitting here waiting for mine, and I haven't quite got the head down yet. It's I'm getting there. Mine's probably pretty close to what you have, though.
So, man, I've drinking a few triple dry hopped beers from North Park lately, And man, when they say triple dry hopped, I mean, you just get hit with the amount of hops on the palate. But behind that, there is a smooth, pillowy mouthfeel with a sort of like creamy texture and some like pineapple mango, more mango, like green mango notes to it. It's good. It's really
Not
good.
bad. I'll take a swig of mine. Let you know how it is. Now I got some decent amount of head gone. It's pretty mellow, to be honest with you. I kind of tasted like I know it's an IPA, but it kind of had like a corn almost taste. Tastes like corn. It does kind of have an aftertaste of corn. It's a little bit bitter, not too bitter, a little bitter, hoppy. Tastes like hops from Yakima. Goods. So you ready to get into some news, Trent? You want to lead us off, or you want me to lead us off?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. I will add
Go
back the state,
crazy.
and I'm gonna share this screen instead.
Arc of Lightning. John Squire.
So John Squire, whoever this is, says, but you can see it's got like 121,000 views on X. He says tomorrow is April 16th, and the SEC lawsuit against Ripple officially ends. XRP to the moon, he says. I'll come over here and search Jack the Rippler for you. Actually, he's right under here. And I'm going to scroll down on this guy's page. If anyone knows who he is, here's what we have on our thumb today. It says lawyer Fred Rispoli says before or on April 16th, something huge will happen. Now, guys, the reason the title of our stream tonight is XRP breaking news tomorrow, ? Bitcoin to break through sell pressure. Well, guys, I thought this was important for us to come on here and address, because you have posts getting over 100K views on Twitter that I'm not saying they're misleading intentionally. But here's the problem. I'll come over here to an article, and this is what's being referenced by those posts. It says April 16th, still a crucial date for XRP lawsuit. Here's what's expected. Ripple's long-standing legal battle with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission has entered a critical phase, with April 16th previously marked as the deadline for Ripple to file its appellate brief approaching. However, the latest procedural update suggests a different outcome is far more likely. Fred Rispoli stated that Ripple will avoid filing the brief on this matter. He designated 90% odds that a settlement would emerge or the appeal would be withdrawn, redirecting the legal position of the case. Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission filed a concurrent request to suspend the present appeal proceedings. The joint motion demonstrates that both parties have negotiated the terms of an impending settlement, which requires confirmation from the SEC Commission. Hence, the legal document scheduled for April 16th filing will not move forward. I'm gonna shut my front door real quick because my dog's barking.
Bark, 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 bark.
Yeah, Avalanche, I mean, it's cool. I've held it before. I've sold it before, you know.
I
Made
tell
a
you what,
little
you wanted to
profit on it.
short it to the dirt. I'm just kidding.
Made a little bit of profit on it. You know, Avalanche is like a one night stand for me. So, not that I've ever had a one night stand in real life. I have not. In fact. uh, but so, guys, here's what's going on with this. April 16th was originally a date, you know, back in Q4 of last year. The SEC had appealed the decision about the programmatic sales of XRP by Ripple Labs, the decision that those were not securities. And, you know, the SEC appealed the decision. They were, Ripple was even, you know, looking at facing like $125 million fine, which is a slap on the wrist for Ripple. But the SEC had appealed this decision. Well, a few months back, April 16th was supposed to be the date that Ripple had to give what this article is calling a an appeal it brief. So Ripple was going to give a brief about the status of the appeal and why the programmatic sales ruling of XRP should not be appealed, or you know they were going to give some kind of brief on April 16th as to why the SEC doesn't have these grounds. Well, guys, about a month or two after that, and this brings us up to like early March, just of last month. There was a joint agreement between between the SEC and Ripple Labs to pause any appeal proceedings. So, you know, as of then, there is no brief scheduled for April 16th. There was originally a brief on the books. Uh, there is not right now. And yet we're still, you know, we're still seeing this stuff on Twitter that's like April 16th, the big day. And it's not, like I said, I'm not accusing anybody of being intentionally misleading. But you know, it's it's a letdown. It's a hype
That's how
drive.
I feel about it. Yeah, it's
Letdown.
hard to
Yeah,
put a date on it, man.
right. Well, you know what Fred Rispoli, which is a pro Ripple lawyer that's well known for all this, Fred Rispoli's take on it is: look, there's a reason why there is a joint agreement. Let's see, what does the article call it exactly? It says that Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission filed a concurrent request to suspend the present appeal proceedings. The joint motion demonstrates that both parties have negotiated the terms of an impending settlement. So, guys, this is Fred Rispoli's opinion, a well known pro Ripple Labs lawyer in the case. He is not Ripple Labs lawyer directly, but he's well known for his input on the matter. And what he's trying to tell us is that, look, there's this joint motion between the SEC and Ripple Labs to suspend the appeal proceedings. And you know, the point he's making is that the only reason that would happen is because they're in talks for a settlement. And the settlement is going to be about that $125 million number that Ripple Labs would owe, and maybe it gets knocked down to 50 or whatever the settlement turns out to be. But guys, that's the reason that there are no appeal proceedings. In all likelihood, Ripple Labs and the SEC are in the middle of a settlement agreement right now. None of this affects the status of XRP as not being a security. Like Coinbase has been relisted it for quite some time now. Like that's why the market has already priced in with a 5x on XRP since quarter 4 of last year. The market is already pricing in that XRP has the green light as far as regulation is concerned. So none of that is a question. It's just literally we're waiting on that number that they're going to settle on. And when that happens, we never have to hear anything ever again about Ripple Labs and the SEC having some sort of upcoming date. So there's that news. And I will mention this one other thing when it comes to XRP. We don't
XRP.
we're not big into clickbait around here. I mean, YouTube, you do have to play the game a little bit. But, me personally, I'm not a big clickbait believer. I think that if we have something in the title, even if it is kind of attention grabbing, if
Has
we have
anybody ever had luck with MoonPay? I've tried to use it probably like 25 times and I gave up because I could never get to not look like fraud.
I've never tried it. No.
Oh man.
But if we have something in the title, even if it's attention grabbing, like I want to give the audience some kind of value in the video itself that reflects what was in the title. Okay. So we don't really do clickbait around here in the traditional sense. Yeah, we'll use hyperbole,
Does
like
that say tongues
Mhm.
in the clickbait thingy? Tongues begin to wag on XRP.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know. But we'll use hyperbole, like epic meltdown. You know what I mean? When the price is not actually melting down. I mean, I don't really. I want to avoid doing that too. We're just getting started. But anyways, my
You can
point
avoid it.
is.
I'm going to do it to him.
Yeah, I hear you.
Bad cop, good cop, bad cop, good cop.
But anyways, I'm bringing the XRP content because it's in the title and I'm following through. All right. So we've got over here another date in mind, April 21st. Now I think there may be some more legitimacy to this date, as to something significant happening. But I would say again, it may be there may be some exaggeration behind it. So let's get into the article. It says XRP price to soar on Swift announcement. Here's what we know. Tongues begin to wag on XRP Ledger's addition to the Swift ecosystem, preceding a major announcement. The upcoming weeks offer two key events for Ripple XRP as cross-border altcoin continues to expand its utility list in a major way. Swift, the financial behemoth, is set to make an announcement on April 21st, 2025, which could touch upon the topic of XRP ledger testing to make the Swift transactions instantaneous rather than 3 to 4 business days. Now, Swift, for anyone that might not know, is like the current money movement system for the world. Is Swift mulling XRP for immediate payments? The financial conglomerate of Swift is known to serve over 11,000 financial institutions across the globe, standing for Society of Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, SWIFT. The XRP integration would open doors to a $150 trillion market for the OG altcoin. According to Elisa DiCaprio, the head of industry engagement at Swift, most merchants are expecting to see transactions settled in less than an hour by 2027. Besides Ripple, the parent company of the XRP token, I don't like how they said parent company. had participated in compatibility testing programs with Swift in 2023. So the head of
Wire again.
industry engagement at Swift, Elisa DiCaprio, she said that most merchants are expecting transactions to be settled in less than an hour by 2027. That's coming from the head of industry engagements at Swift. Now, again, what people are, kind of speculating that has something to do with XRP, which I think it's a good speculation. Like, why would it not? You're telling me 11,000 merchants that work with Swift are expecting transactions to be settled in less than an hour by 2027 when they're currently settled in 3 to 4 business days? Like, of course that has something to do with XRP. My thing is, I don't know that there aren't other projects involved besides XRP. I think XRP is top dog, don't get me wrong, but the Hedera community is right now on Twitter and on Instagram, sort of speculating the same thing about Hedera being used with Swift. So, could this extend to sort of all of the ISO 20022 projects? That is still to be determined, the extent of that. But XRP would definitely be the leader of the pack in that scenario, is how I see it. What do you think about that, Tyler?
I'm gonna think about leading into what I have to add to XRP. So this right here, my fellow fans, is XRP ETF filing. Let's see here. U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, Washington, D.C. Form N-1A registration statement under Securities Act of 1933. Pre-effective amendment, post-effective amendment, and or a registration statement under the Investment Company Act of 1940. ProShares have filed for an ETF. The exact name of the registrant. Trust Trent. Why is these words not coming out of my mouth? Instrument. Woo! That was hard to get out. 7272 Wisconsin Avenue. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so basically this is saying that there's an XRP ETF through ProShares. It's just another one being followed, which is fantastic news for that. Wait, yeah, there we go. Wait, click that again. And over here on the side, I don't know if you guys can read this. Can you read this, Trent? This guy said, I asked Grok how long it would take for the process to run its course. On conclusion, you're most likely to know if the ProShares XRP ETF is approved between July 14th, 2025 and September 12th, 2025, 90 to 150 days from filing date, or roughly 3 to 5 months from April 15th. But you know what that means, Trent? You know what that means? July 14th and September 12th could be the most important days for XRP.
And could be the most important, yeah, right. And could be the most important days for the whole market in that case, which kind of leads into the top that we were thinking about, September, October-ish,
Yeah, okay.
I think we get one more October is what I think,
How do you think about me if being able to play this and lead into the next little news thing I have?
Let's freaking get it.
Okay, so guys, check this out. Okay, so I think this is Anthony Pompliano, but I could be mistaken. But regardless, he's talking in the White House about how to buy Bitcoin by not using taxpayer-funded dollars, and these are one of the avenues they talked about, which got people pretty excited.
But then I've also seen Lutnick and others talk about this idea of, well, maybe there's external
expand it
to be able to use that. So, like, how are you guys maybe from a framework standpoint thinking about, okay, what are the ways that we could go buy more Bitcoin?
Well, I think that Senator Lummis has really an interesting idea with the Bitcoin Act of 2025, which I know has taken the community by storm. But here, what you would do is you'd revalue the gold certificates that we currently have at Treasury, most of which are valued, I think, around like $43 an ounce, which is you know,
a lot lower than what it's really worth.
Correct. Yeah. So now we're sitting at what, $3,100 an ounce being the price of gold. And if you took that value, what you could do is use that extra funding in order to buy more Bitcoin that could be used for the reserve. But that's just one idea. And, you know, that's currently circulating its way through Capitol Hill, and we'll see how many co-sponsors she can get and how she can pull her colleagues on board. But we're looking at many creative ways, whether it be from you know, tariffs, whether it be from something else. I mean, there's literally countless ways in which you can do this. And, you know, I'll defer to, you know, some of our members inside of the interagency working group to see what ideas they come up with inside of their own shops. But we'll look at everything. Everything's on the table. And like we've said, we want as much as we can get. So we're going to make sure that no stone is unturned as we start fleshing out some of these processes.
There
if
you
that
go.
doesn't get you pumped,
Is it gonna pump? Is it gonna dump? Is it going to pump? Yes, it is. Dude, you
So
got
what-
me pumped.
I mean, dude, my initial thoughts on that, I kind of thought, you know, I have heard this when you were telling me earlier on the phone. I thought you were talking about some like tariff specific, and he did mention tariffs, but he mentioned something else I've been looking into quite a bit, which is the sale of Fed gold certificates to provide liquidity to buy Bitcoin. I'll actually, let's see here, pop my screen up real quick. I'll put yours back up in a minute. And come over here to my profile because I think, yeah. So, you know, I retweeted this piece from New World Finance. It said, gold prices have surged as investors flock to safe haven assets in response to growing recession concerns. And I said, pumping up liquidity for when U.S. Fed gold certificates are used to buy 5% of the Bitcoin supply. Because that's what David Sachs and these guys in this, you know, crypto commission are talking about, is buying 5% of the Bitcoin supply. You know, and doing it and largely using the sales of Federal Reserve gold certificates, you know, sold at a discount, I guess, but basically the United States of America offloading gold to buy Bitcoin. That's massive, and they only have to. They don't have to make that big of a dent in their total holding of gold in order to accumulate 5% of the Bitcoin supply. That is going to shoot Bitcoin
Up.
Yeah, to new highs, we'll say that much. I mean, some could argue that is super cycle territory. I don't think so. I think we're getting another bear market. But this is one for the books. Like, you know, the nation race to buy Bitcoin is on, and actually El Salvador started it.
Yeah. You know, I remember when El Salvador started buying Bitcoins and people were judging them for being such a small country, and they're like, they don't know what they're doing. They were going to get squished. Well, they look like freaking geniuses right now. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, I don't think they will get squished. I think that when I first started seeing it, I was thinking that El Salvador could be like the next Saudi Arabia. I'm like, dude, they're going to, the amount of Bitcoin they're accumulating, yeah, it's not a crazy amount, but the fact that they have a head start, they're going to be smashing it late game.
Yeah.
Nesquick, welcome to join us. These thumbnails look fire. I hope you enjoyed all the headshots. I worked really hard. I did.
You have to keep us company because JG hasn't hopped in here yet. He's been in every chat for like 8 days in a row. I mean, you know, everyone has stuff come up, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel the same without JG in here.
I know, right? I know. I was looking for him earlier. Did you see that gold made a new all-time high today?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Freaking almost $3,300.
And that's what I'm saying is like, you know,
Who
gold
who
is
just
pumping at the perfect time. It's
I
pumping at
can't
the
remember.
perfect time for there to be more liquidity for Trumpty Dumpty
Well, I can't
to take
remember
some
who
of this liquidity and pile it into Bitcoin and buy 5% of the supply.
I can't remember who it was talking about this, but they think they're estimating gold to be $4,500 at the end of this year and 9,000 by the end of next year.
Ooh, that's pretty steep. I mean, gold doesn't 2x in a year these days.
Maybe it depends on
Yeah, what
uncertainty.
kind of devaluation of fiat is happening?
Well, that I think uncertainty too. I think there's a lot of uncertainty that can be pumped into it.
Right. Yeah, I'm just concerned that if gold 2x'd, that in a year that our fiat would be in really bad shape, you know?
It is in bad shape.
Well,
That's why we have the tariffs. So it's either that or go bankrupt.
yeah, but the lipstick is on the pig, and you know, like
How dare you call Trump a pig? Offense taken.
the dollar, not Trump necessarily.
Trump loves the dollar. He barely knows what Bitcoin is. He has to have like people around him explain to him, which he has a lot of smart people around him. I give him
Right.
that.
A private key is like a private what?
Private keys are private. Yeah.
Uh,
What's the seed phrase? Oh, you're not supposed to have that online. Can you
I
imagine?
just posted it on Truth Social an hour ago.
Dude, can you imagine if somebody rug pulled Donald Trump's wallet? Like, can he legally go after them as a president?
I don't know.
Or would that be bad? Like, if somebody like stole Donald Trump's ETH and he was like, we're going after you with the force of law. FBI, go get him. Did he do that? Or was that like special privileges? You know what I mean?
Right.
That would be wild. Somebody should go look at Donald Trump's wallet right now and go find out how much Trump coin he has in it, because that's how you would find it, and then see if that matches his ETH wallet that has his NFT ETH from his Trump NFTs.
I mean, if
NFT.
anyone necessarily knows that that's his wallet, I mean, I don't know.
Well, the one that he got from the Trump NFTs is, and I'm sure he owns like 80% of the token supply. I mean, it's just like NFTs. You know, those suckers are funny because they always dox you one way or another if you're not paying careful attention.
Yeah. Well, so shall we get into a little bit of charting?
Yeah. Is it gonna pump? Is it gonna dump? Is it gonna bump?
It's Jason Casper's Pump Song, brought to you by T Square.
Hey, Jason Casper's bullish right now. Okay.
What did you say? I haven't watched him in a couple of days.
He says he's bullish
Why though?
because of the weekly.
Because of the weekly?
Yeah, he says there's a hidden bullish divergence, and he just thinks that everything is getting primed. That being said, I think I can't remember if it was him or CryptoFace, but they are leaning towards May, the second week or third week of May, before we start aping like a mofo to a fofo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ever ape to a fofo to a mofo?
I cannot say I have.
Well, you know what that means, right?
I can't say I do.
And why'd you agree with me?
Well, well, yeah, aping into, you know, crypto pumpage. Like, no, I get it, but like, you know.
You just never heard of mofo, aping into a mofo, fofo?
Right, exactly.
New words for you discovered.
Yeah, I'm expanding my vocabulary every day with T Square. Hooked on phonics.
Hey, it's okay. You expanded my vocabulary day one with that special powder you put into your beer.
Phantasm powder. I didn't.
Yeah,
put
you haven't
into
brought
the
it
beer, the
back.
brewer
You
did.
haven't even brought it back yet.
I'm all out of that one.
You know what? I'm gonna look something up just for you right now. Ah, you chart. I'm gonna look something up.
All right. So right here on the daily chart for Bitcoin, we've got the current live price only visible on the Blockchain Brew Show. That means you got to stop whatever else you're doing and log on. The current live price coming in at $83,851 and 0 cents. Or sorry, okay, it got away from me. Anyways, right here we have a new candle open that is bouncing off of the 21 EMA exactly. And that 21 EMA is coming in at $83,164. We had a bearish day that just closed earlier at about 5 p.m. a few hours ago. But the bulls seem to be buying back that sell pressure. So I am thinking that we are going to smash through that sell pressure as you see in the title. Let me reload this tab so that my VRVP comes back up. And let me get back to the 1 day. Of course, it's going to go back to that one. Okay, so we're fighting with this sell pressure right here in between the green line and the yellow horizontal lines of resistance, because there's a huge low volume gap on the volume profile sitting right above us, meaning that once we start closing candles, honestly, any higher than $86,000 on candle closes, there's not enough sell orders sitting above us to push us down, and I think we'll come right up to $93,700, and then we'll form new patterns there, and then we'll break out from there. So that's what we're looking at on the daily chart. We've held this breakout of this long downtrending line of resistance here that came after a bullish divergence marked by a lower low on the price with a higher momentum on the RSI. So you have a slightly lower low on the price with a slightly higher low on the relative strength index. That marks a bullish divergence, and it tells you that there is not enough bearish momentum to keep the price going. It made a slightly lower low, and the momentum is not as low as it was over here, which means the momentum is recovering as the price wicked to a lower low. It's a classic sign of a trend reversal. We then broke out of this blue downtrending line of resistance, and we're consolidating after the breakout. And I think that we're getting ready to pump up. Come down to the 4-hour chart. We are above the point of control on the 4-hour chart. We wicked down to it almost exactly, which is interesting because on the daily chart, we wicked down to the 21 EMA exactly. Right here on the 4-hour, we wicked down to the point of control on the volume profile almost exactly. It does almost look like a bit of a inverse head and shoulders here on the 4-hour chart. And that can take us up into that low volume gap on the volume profile. We have this bullish hammer candle right here forming on the 4-hour, where you have this long lower wick to the downside, meaning as the bears were bringing in the sell pressure, the bulls bought it back up, which is what leaves this wick down here at the bottom. Come
On the
down to the
4 hour?
1-hour chart, and we have bounced off of the 200 EMA as support, and we're starting to recover. On the 1-hour chart, we're too far away from the 21 EMA to be sustainable, so we're at the very least going to come back up to meet it. Then on the 15-minute chart, we're recovering above the 21 EMA, which means we can start knocking out these next levels potentially. We have room to run down here on the RSI before we start getting oversold. RSI coming in at 53 on the 15-minute chart, and getting near 70 or above would signal being oversold. So we have room to run up still without getting oversold, and we can start knocking out these next levels.
Let's knock
Coming
them out
down
one at a time. Or group.
Coming down to the 7-minute is showing a similar thing. We're about to flip the point of control potentially, and then start knocking out the 100 and the 200 EMAs. We knock out the 200 EMA on the 15-minute. We have a low volume gap, bringing us back up to that green horizontal line that I showed on the daily chart.
Let's go. Green line.
And last but not least, for the 1 minute, we have started a new breakout.
That's 1 month.
It's in 1 minute.
I was just sorry.
We've started a new bullish breakout. Now, the thing is, I learned this from Crypto Lifer, but I'm always going to give him credit for it, but I'm going to, point this out wherever I can, because I've known it to work in my own trading. When you break above the 200 EMA on the 1 minute, which happened right here, that's your sign. That's the first sign of a reversal.
Is the 200 EMA trend which
It's
line
the
is it?
red line,
Okay.
not the line on the Bollinger Band. I'll take the Bollinger Band off so you can see it.
Because I'm used to the 200 being the yellow.
So now it's the only red line on the chart, right? So you can see right here when it broke above it, if you had went long, you would have. Now I would have waited for the next candle to close probably.
Just bouncing off it. Boom, boom, boom.
So bring out my measuring tool. If you had went long after this candle close, again, it's on the 1 minute, but you would have scalped 0.5%. And if you're
10x
trading
leverage, that's 5-6%.
Right. So yeah, I mean, the real magic, the real sauce, to that is, hey, you're on the 1 minute, but now what happens if we got that reversal? Now let's look for the 7-minute to get above the 200 EMA.
That 7-minute last 5 candles are kind of sketch.
A little bit, but on these lower time frames, they can do that for a while.
I don't like it.
I mean, look back here or back here. I mean, that got followed by a, right here, you could have said the same thing, and then yeah, it did correct, but it kept going up. I mean, could have said that here, but then the price didn't return back to that point for a while.
You know what they say?
Those
Trent?
lower time frames can get away with doing that a little more,
Only 68% of the time they can get away with that. Those who know Crypto Lifer know the 68 percentile.
So those are my thoughts for the charts today. What are you thinking?
I think you're pretty right, man. All I know is I longed Bitcoin at the very top of today, and it looked like it could be promising on Market Cipher, but it kind of made a quick whoop, and I was like, I don't want to close it out in a loss, so now I'm kind of long for the ride. Granted, my trade's super extreme. It's an $8 trade at 10x leverage, and my liquidation price is 77,000. And then I watched it come down. Watch, I can just show you, Trent. I will just show you. Whoops! I was going to add mine to the stage.
Now this is because you're practicing with leverage, right? Because someone out there might be like, someone out there might just be like, well, why didn't you just buy $80 on spot and then
I'm reason why I wouldn't buy $80 on spot rather than do leverage $8 10 times is because getting liquidated at only losing $8 is gonna not hurt as much as losing $80 getting liquidated when you're trying to learn.
Well, yeah, but you won't lose the $80 on spot. I'm just saying someone else.
No,
someone
AD.
else. Yeah,
AD.
yeah. But if it's on spot, you won't lose it. You
Yeah, but I could open more trades on $8.
Right.
That's why I use it. That's why.
Yeah.
It's about getting the trading volume in rather than just doing spot.
Right.
And I opened my trade up right smack right here, but
Oh.
I was looking at. I think I was looking at the 12-minute. And maybe I was feeling it. That does not look right. Where was I at? Where I gotta figure out my time zones. It's all wackadoo over here. Maybe this was it. Was that many hours ago? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3, 4. But maybe this was it. Right over here. And what I was looking at was this giant blue wave down here. And I was like, dude, they're pretty decently separated, as you could tell from over here. It's kind of like a scoop. Like they scoop right in, scoop right in, scoop right in. And I did not anticipate a correction as swiftly as I did because I was multitasking at the time. So I saw this candle and I was looking at it. I was like, wow, we're really separated where the money flows pouring in and the VWAP it was kind of tilting upwards at our side. And I was like, this is pretty good. Though I was saying the strength was pretty high, but we were oversold. I was like, let's check out the larger time frames. So I pulled up like the 1 hour at that time. Where were we at? Right over here. And I was all like, maybe it was right here. I saw the green saying that we could be oversold still, but I wasn't quite paying attention where we were slightly starting to come down again and again. The red dot. Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a brutal trading experience, but that's why I'm practicing. I did a lot of paper trading and I did pretty well with them. This was kind of an emotional decision, though. That being said, I don't believe I have to close it out because I do believe it will come back into profit. And yet again, it's only $8, right? So it's not like I'm going to be sweating it. And that's another reason why I chose to do $8 is because I'm zerally emotionally attached to $8. I spend that on lunch double each day. That doesn't. I can really watch it go all the way down and lose it and be like, well, that's kind of sucked, but I can work on improving off that. And that's kind of my mindset is I want to improve on emotionally detaching from my trades, because as I get better and better and I scale it up, I don't want to be able to FOMO back into them. Like, I got to add money to it, And so I made a trade right there and along, and I think that's going to play out. Maybe I get liquidated at 77,000. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. And I was watching these candles down here, and I was watching these candles right here. And I saw that we got a second green dot, and it started curving back over again. And as it curves back over, sometimes it does play out. I took a shot at it, just like the 68% of the time it works. It didn't, because of it was saying we were oversold still. The strength was low, which I haven't 100% figured out the strength, how it works. Like, I'm like, are you supposed to long when the strength's low? Or are you supposed to long when the strength's high? So that's something I'm still trying to understand myself, and I have to practice and retest it. but the money flow was still coming down. And something that CryptoFace preaches is he says once you notice it coming down, like once you find the halfway point of a green wave, which is probably like right here, you can start seeing it come down to get out. But I was like, I didn't want to cut at a loss, so I'm just gonna let it run and figure out where it goes. And then I was thinking about adding another trade in here at $8 with a green dot and a double green dot, but I wanted some confirmation before I added it in there, and this one kind of made you want to jump in, but I got the yellow X, and I was like, okay, cool, I am in the clear. And now you're kind of waiting for the bottom of the red wave. So you could say this could be the bottom of the red wave coming in, and you could have played these two green dots that's saying we're really oversold on the 12-minute. This would have been a good time to get into the trade. And as you can tell, I see that we got a lot of green candles in a row. The money flow is coming back in. The green line is saying that we're oversold. We have the blue wave that's still saying we could have room to keep going, but we might flip it like Trent said earlier. The lower time frames kind of show less light, and the strength's like off the charts right now. Or not really off the charts, up above this. It's above average. Okay, I think it goes to 100, but I have to double check.
Yeah.
See what number it actually goes to, but it's 70. And did you know?
Well, and if anyone out there wants is looking for a platform to trade on or demo trade on,
hey JG, what up, man? We were just talking about missing you.
Yeah.
We're like, where the heck is he at?
If anyone out there, is looking for a platform to trade or demo trade on, what do we got for him, Tyler?
To demo trade? I mean, I would just use TradingView, and they have a paper account.
I popped it on the screen.
Oh, BidFi. Hell, oh, thank you, Trent. Thank you for showing that. Well, you know what? You guys should sign up for BidFi, because when we get to 100 subscribers and you sign up under BidFi, we're giving away 100 Cardano, which, believe it or not, I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of people signed up under us at that point in time. So you have a really good shot at winning 100 ADA. So that's why you should do it, because
I just learned what it actually stands for.
Business Youth Development Financial Institution.
It stands for BIDL, BIDL, your dream finance. So
what's BIDL mean?
Build, but for crypto bros, like HODL.
Well, yeah, I knew that. you just figured that out. I was like, I'd build your finance.
What up, JG? I think I just derailed your thought that you were.
No, I mean, I was leading into the 12-minute, and because I was saying earlier, like I was looking at the larger time frames up over here to see if that was playing out. I should have probably closed it right here, but I thought about it. And I was like, I could have closed it, but I don't think I'm going to get liquidated. I just don't. So I was like, I'm going to keep it open because I'm trying not to close my trades out in a loss. And something that I'm trying to do is, you might laugh at me for trading only $8 per trade.
I'm not.
My goal, I have like 100.
Hey, I had some liquidations where I wished I was just trading with $8.
Well, you're right. Well, I'm trading with $8, right? And I was watching. Oh, that's another thing I was talking about too, is CryptoFace. But he said that if you can figure out how to be a good trader, so if I could trade my $8, let's say to 1,000, it takes me a year. And what you do is you go get a funded account, and then he was talking about when you take the test, it's $800 for the test. If you fail it, you're out $800. But if you win, they unlock trading volume of 100,000 at 5x leverage max. That's it. You can only play that, but they have an 80-20 profit share. So it means that shows how exceedingly well you can actually become a good trader. So I could get good trading $100 to 1,000, and then at that point I could take that 1,000 and go take this test. Well, if I pass it and say I'm profitable, I'm understanding what I know, in which I think at that point you could unlock $500,000 of trading volume, which then you can actually make some money and actually be profitable and not have to work. Another thing too I really liked what he said today in one of his videos is, you can't be like, I just need to make $1,000 a month trading. Trading is not a salary. A lot of people try to fit trading into a salary tier, And I don't think that's how it works. You know, you take the trades as they come, and what you can make is what you can make. And typically, eventually, it's like a bonus on top of your regular job till finally your bonus is so big, you don't need to work. You can live below your means as you continue to grow. And then once you do that, you kind of process the mindset of not being emotionally attached to stuff where you can have that maturity to do that. Also, Trent, I was listening to CryptoFace talk about how he built Market Cipher, and it was a fantastic interview. I can't remember who did it, but he loves God with all his heart, and I thought that was the coolest thing to learn because that's something that I do and you do.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he prayed to God that he wanted to help the world and help people who are poor, and how can he do that? And it was this crazy story about how he got introduced to trading bots, to meeting this guy at like he was selling to, or he was real estate, whatever it was, and that guy didn't date night trading, and he joined him in not night trading, but night writing script, and that's how he learned how to write script, because he's like, I didn't know anything, and he actually CryptoFace didn't design Market Cipher to sell. He designed it because he was trading on TradingView, and on the free version, you're only allowed to have 3 indicators. And he was getting pissed about it because he had like a bunch of accounts opened up on all his computers trying to understand everything. And so he learned PineScript with this guy, and he combined each indicator. He had like 20 of them, and he combined each one into 5. That way, or 3. That way he can, I don't know, 5, 3, or how many he has. That way you can use Market Cipher. It is 3 because Market Cipher A, B, and SR. That way you can use all of them and all 20 of the indicators that he was using at the time to perfect like anybody who wanted to use it. And he's like, hey guys, to his friends, he sent it out to him. He's like, dude, this actually works. This actually freaking works really well. And that's how Market Cipher was developed. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. So it was just, I don't know, man. Like, it's nice to see that he's a good Christian guy, or I don't know if he's Christian. He loves God. And I put that in the Christian category. And the fact that he's prayed for Market Cipher, and that's kind of how it came about. And so, you know, I think it's a real good tool to use. And, you know, it takes time to perfect like anything else. And if you're willing, if you want it more than anybody else, then you should put the time in. Like me, I'm trying every single day to do it. I've given up like a lot of my video game time and working late hours because I'm trying to figure this out. And I think a lot of it is like me. I had to visually see it, and I'm actually I was doing it on my phone, which does help me, but I'm probably going to get a paper journal and actually like look at the indicators and be like, I'm going to have a checklist, be like, okay, check the red wave, where is it at? Okay, it's at this. Okay, check the blue wave, where's that? Okay, it's at these numbers. Check the strength. Okay, it's at this number. Check this at this number. And as I write down my 5 points on his Market Cipher, I do believe I will get better over time, and that skill is going to immensely sharpen over anybody else. I mean, how many other people out there trying to trade that are writing it down? I don't think as many as you think. I think a lot of people, everybody says they're going to do it, but how many people actually apply it? I got to check up on JG's chats. I was talking about you earlier, JG. You should look in the chat. I'm like, where are you at, man? It's weird without you being here. You're getting destroyed on Pepe and SPX 6900 and Sweet today. I haven't taken a look at Pepe. SPX 69. I have lots of people who have told me to buy it. And I never got into it because I just thought it was oversold. And I still think it's probably going to be a prime meme coin. But I already have the one meme coin I picked, and I just don't want to get out of it. And a lot of my theories, hey, Marshall. Hey, buddy.
That's Ranger.
Oh, that's Ranger?
The puppy.
They all look like, both of them look like puppies.
Yeah, Marshall's 70 pounds. I don't pick him up that easy.
You know, they all have dots, and I can't tell which dot from apart. Where was I thinking, Trent? Or I was looking into JG's chats. CF's mom.
Well,
I heard him talk about.
I want to say this before I forget, because I was telling JG that, you know.
Really? I listened to his stream. I didn't hear him say that. That's super sad.
I know. We'll definitely definitely pray for him. You know, it's never a good thing to hear.
You
Hearts go
know,
out to him.
yeah, hearts go out to him. Hopefully, I would love to talk to him someday. I'm too small, and he doesn't know who I am right now.
You
But
know,
I
you
probably,
never know. You never know.
you never know. I thought that about Ben too, but look where I end up getting. And I do think someday I'll actually get to talk to him, meet him, and he actually could get to know me. But
Yeah.
I don't know if he seems moody or if that's just an act. I do think that once you become like an influencer and
I
you're
think it's a
regularly
little
on
true.
stream and you get like a following, I think that then that, like, he calls them the pencil necks, which I've heard that term from other people, is that the more negative people are the ones that scream the loudest. Like Elon Musk says, like the people who are doing the scamming are the ones that are the biggest crybabies. It's kind of like that in crypto. The ones who are the most angry at everything because they're not good at what they're doing are the ones that scream the loudest compared to people who are content, who just want to lay low, go slow, don't blow. You don't hear those people talk because they're patient. They take the time. Other people who can't control emotions are the ones that scream the loudest.
I have a story about Crypto
Me?
Face and Nesquik. She's gonna hate me if she hears me say this, but um, when when my wife and I got her into making some thumbnails for uh, a certain crypto influencer out there, we sent her the info for a thumb one day, and she was pretty new to crypto at the time. And we were like, put Crypto Face on the thumb, blah blah. She texts back and goes, "What's a crypto face?"
It's like the emoji face. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You know, we were talking about being down on those Pepe trades. I don't know what SPX 69 is, but
We could look at SPX 69. They say SPX 69 is the meme, is what I've been told. Is
well,
the meme because it's supposed to be like SPS 500.
oh, okay. Well, I'll have you pull that up right now. But one thing I want to say about the market in general is, guys, what day is it today, or what day was it on the last
Tuesday.
candle? It's April 15th. It's tax day, guys. It always brings some sell pressure.
Oh man, this is why you gotta get the market cipher, JG. Look at that trigger wave right there. Look at that trigger wave. You could have jumped out when we got this blood diamond. That trigger wave. Oof. I see what you mean. Now, that being said, I just got done talking about how I put trades in the market right here, but I did that on Bitcoin, so I can't. And I also put a second trade in here right here. Right, that means I'm probably about breaking even now. Woo! I'm even in one trade.
I think a lot of the sell pressure on this last daily handle was tax day. You know what happens is I'm currently building my own custom indicator. Heck yeah.
There you go, JG. You using Pine Script?
Hey, if you're interested in doing something with it business wise, I mean, let's do it. I mean, I don't know how long your time horizon is, but like I plan on growing. I plan on the Brew Crew growing on YouTube pretty quick.
Thank you, trigger.
And yeah, we can if you're putting your time and energy into building something, I don't know why you don't like take the opportunity to sell it, to market it.
We should at least take a look at it. When you get it all figured out, I would love to throw it up there and see what numbers it pulls up.
Oh God, you say I can't code, I use AI.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
I know we all do.
Hey, it's still cool though. And in that case, like, hey, that's cool as a personal project. But you never know. Maybe it becomes something one day. Like
You
maybe
can't say you're really dumb, man. I'm a garbage guy. Every time I look at anybody on my route, they look at me like I'm a stupid garbage man. I'm like, hey, don't judge. You're like, you need me more than I need you, because if the world didn't have garbage man, people will flip out. We had like 2 weeks of snow, Trent, or a week of snow, and everybody was crapping the pants when garbage didn't run. Also, I wanted to say too, Trent, before I interrupt you again, is I've noticed these red dot trigger waves work just as good as green dot trigger waves. And even if there's a blood diamond, the trigger wave, what I've seen, outperforms, or not outperforms, but takes precedence over a blood diamond, because you shouldn't get a trigger wave without that. Or if a trigger wave comes, it's because the blood diamond's already been played out and like oversold. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
very common, I've noticed yet.
Right.
What was I looking at, Trent? Oh yeah,
Hey,
I was
well,
gonna look up
we've already
6900.
reached 36 people so far. So,
That's
these live streams, if you look at them the next day, a lot of them are hitting or breaking 100 views. So there's
I
that.
can't wait to talk to JG and like how we actually met.
Oh, oh, you and I actually met?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm comfortable saying it at this point.
No, we shouldn't say it. That should be like a grand finale, like for a
Oh,
stream.
a grand.
We didn't meet because of we're just random dudes. I mean, yes, we were random dudes, but we were connected somehow in this void of awesome, amazing crypto adventure guruiness. What the heck? Why did I get Pepe? I swear I just pulled up SPX 6900. What?
So really, really good at helping a non-coder crank out shit. It's impressive. It really is. It really is. But even at that, like I was saying, like, I mean, don't. Yeah, it's a personal project, but don't leave it on the shelf to collect dust. You never know who's going to get a hold of it.
Hey,
and
JG.
offer to
Sorry.
debug it for you, and offer to polish it up for you, and you just never know. You never know with anything.
I just want to point out too, like how we were just looking at Pepe. We have this blood diamond right here, but we also have a trigger wave. And I'm willing to bet this blood diamond will not play out, especially 4 back-to-back green dots. I'm willing to bet this is the bottom, especially the money flow coming in. The VWAP's could come down a little bit, which is not bearish. I mean, great. I mean, it's kind of bearish. But look at the strength and the money flow saying we're oversold. You can see manipulation. It was trying to break out. I just don't think that this mid dot is going to play out 6,900. There's manipulation right there. Green dot. It we're oversold. This could be an opportunity to take along with double back green candles. The SR saying we have a 21, and just barely the red wave is just starting to come up. Just barely. If this is the tip of the red wave, that's a good sign. It's also a good sign to see the VWAP is up, and the uppity up.
Yeah, I think that today's sell pressure was tax day always has sell pressure, because what happens is people get hit with bills, and what do? They justify offloading some of their holdings to pay that off.
I'll be right back, Trent. Let me
And
release this.
it's a vicious cycle. So, it always has to, and then I'd imagine, I mean, this is just me trying to think like a whale. I'm not a whale, but, think like a whale. I'd imagine that, the whales kind of take advantage of that sentiment on tax day as like a good time to scalp a little bit of bearish action. So, I think that's to be expected on April 15th. And I don't see another big, macro reason that's holding us down. I just don't. So let's see what else. I mean, the next thing we got is Cardano Spotlight, and we'll wrap up. I'm just waiting for T Square. Let me hop over to my screen real quick. Remove, add to stage. Let's come and see what the 1 minute chart is doing right now on Bitcoin. So we're testing this 200 EMA on the 1 minute. Hopefully we hold it. That would be nice. Hold it instead of breaking it and coming back down. I mean, even if we do, it's not bringing us that low. You know, it's not bringing us as low as we were earlier, but hopefully we hold that and then we can start breaking back up. Where let's look at higher time frames to find support. So
Support. I don't even know her.
Is it time for the Cardano Spotlight?
Cardano Spotlight. What?
Yeah.
No, I was going to show you something.
Okay, go for it.
I wanted to represent this.
You gotta
to
take
you.
you gotta take me off the screen then.
I'll just
There
take
you
you.
go.
Oh, I haven't needed taking you off the screen because I haven't got to where I needed to get to.
Oh, well,
I just wanted to share this with you. Just in case if you're ever interested.
okay. You know, I do want to start homebrewing.
You can buy Phantasm. No, for your coffee on the months that you need a week or whatever you don't drink at all. You should add a little Phantasm powder to your coffee brew in the little powders.
Huh.
And brew it. And it says Phantasm powder, Thiel Pascua boosts tropical aromas. 1 pound. It only
Okay.
costs. How much does it cost?
Well, I want to get into some homebrewing and I want to vlog it
It only
and
costs
throw it up
$54.99.
here on the blockchain brew.
Also,
Nice.
Trent, I'm going to remove that, but I wanted to show JG. I know that it's up 22%. I know that, but I think it's still dead. But it's just me. That's a pretty good rug pull.
Those things always bounce.
Yeah, it bounced right back up to $7.
Well, no. Those things always bounce like 20, 50, even 100% up from the very bottom. It's just, you know. But,
Yeah.
you know, Luna did, and it's still dead. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot
Have
of
you
examples
seen
of that.
Luna? Are you talking about Luna Classic or Luna 2.0? Believe it or not, Luna Classic is doing better than Luna 2.0.
Yeah, CoffeeZilla got the CEO an interview. I saw that. I didn't get
Did
the
he?
chance to
On
watch the whole
Luna?
thing. No. Mantra.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna watch that. I would like to watch that interview. It came out at a funny time at work, so I
Yeah.
didn't get to see it. But I'm probably will be watching it tomorrow. I wonder how many people CoffeeZilla has working for him. I'm generally curious about it.
Bro.
Wait, and he got the CEO of Mantra on there, dude. The guy's probably trying to save face, but there's no way he
Yeah.
could save his face.
Yeah.
You know, I'm proud of Luna Classic. It's still a 313 million market cap. You know, that's pretty insane for like your stable coin going to zero pretty much and everybody losing their ass on it.
Yeah, but I mean that's just $300 million that's taking up dead space. I wish it would just
Die.
go to absolute zero and flow into
You're
other
so negative.
ecosystems, you know.
You know what I think is surprising is WIF, bro. I remember when I had friends saying that WIF was the one. It was the one. $4. I think it was above. I believe it was above $4, dude. That's over a 10x just from here.
Yeah.
Dude, look at its trading volume. It's a third. It has third of its trading volume in market cap daily. That's wild.
Yeah.
Down 86 spots. You know, I
80%.
dude, that's crazy. Now think about this. So you got SPX at 117. and WIF at 128. You know, SPX has a much sexier looking chart than that one. You know,
Yeah.
SPX is just kind of doing this weird thing. Look at that double top. You can't say that's not a double top and not wanting to get out. You know, if I knew what I knew, and even still, if you didn't see it was a double top, you kind of gave you like a one last like 1-2 rebound before it's saying run for the hills. You know,
Yeah.
don't be extra liquidity. You know, dog with Pat, you still get the double top. You kind of had that little correction, but the SPX 6900 was a lot better, and it just pooped all over itself. And even Brett, man, Brett has the same looking. It's funny how all the meme coins like mimic like the same chart. You know what I mean? They all kind of ran up together. Like there's that funny little double top. There's that little run for the hill moment, and then it just crapped. You know, I can't really say too much because my meme coin that I'm holding right now, I don't even think it's in here. Yeah, it's at 268. I bought this one. What the frick is in my face? ADR Ondor. Well, that doesn't look legit. Stay away from Ondor without looking into it.
Yeah.
What the frick was I looking at, dude? And somebody told me to buy Echelon Prime at $17. No, like that's a good buy. I was like looking at it because they're like it's $20. It's 17 right, 15 right now. You should buy it. And I was like, I don't know, man. That's pretty high. Now this is looking like a lot better price point to buy, but I still wouldn't recommend it without knowing more about it. I just know it's a game. It's like, where the frick did Turbo go? Here it is. And look, this double top, I don't even know if I see a double top. To be honest with you, you kind of could say that and that would be a double top, but it's hard to really specify. But I mean, I think out of all the meme coins, Turbo probably looks relatively the best right now because you kind of have like this as the floor, this line right here. It's kind of right where we're at. I don't think we're going to go below it. Maybe we do. If we do, we'll probably drop to like right here. Maybe right there. It's really hard to say. There's a lot of freaking holders. It's still at 427 spots from where it was at a year ago. And this looks like a bottom to me. And I just, boop, that's what you could see. And then I would get out, you know. Without charting it, that's just a crypto bubble chart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dude, that one kid was talking about Digibyte the other day. Remember that?
Yeah.
I told him that I thought it looked good. I think he was showing it to me right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, man, I hope he did good. What was that guy's name? Batty E?
Oh, Ebadio.
Yeah, Ebadia. I think that was it.
Ebadio. Yeah, he's been subbed since like one of the first few videos.
Really? Yeah, I think he was talking about that. Unless I'm thinking about somebody else, but I think that's who it was. All right. I mean, I'm ready for Cardano Spotlight if you are.
Okay, so I bought and sold
1 second.
Prime, and they have a
A
strategy.
year ago to date, Mog coin is 0%. I just want to point that out. I thought that was funny. Oh, look, it just changed to 0.02. It was 0. And you know who's a big Mog guy? Is Elio Trades. And if his meme coin is down like this, which he says he's not a meme guy, but if his meme pick is down like this much, and my meme coin's down like this much, you know that it probably still has life. Oh, and you want some alpha, Trent?
Yeah, give it to me.
So you know Peanut, how it shot up crazy. I think Peanut could be a really good buy right now if you had any money on the side, because Netflix just signed a movie about Peanut the squirrel.
Oh,
and it's a documentary about like the whole guy and the raid and everything. And I bet you when that documentary is released, hopefully it will be still within the bull run. I bet you Peanut will run. There's some alpha right there.
Yeah. Well, for today's Cardano Spotlight, you know, I want to speculate a little. I want to hypothesize a little bit and imagine
hypothesize me
and dream and wonder about a world in which Cardano and XRP come together in a groundbreaking crypto partnership that would you know, shake up the whole space. So let's get into what Charles Hoskinson had to say about it. Let's see. Take you off, add to stage.
On what level do you see Cardano and XRP working together? I think we can add amazing DeFi components to XRP. I think they can add a lot of liquidity, and they can add a wonderful stablecoin layer, bridges definitely, and it would be super
You're
cool
welcome,
to see if there's
JG.
a path to get Midnight working with XRP. So we're meeting with David Schwartz here in a little bit. I've been texting him back and forth. His people are talking to my people. I sent him over some of our papers as well as the code for Midnight, and we'll see where that goes. But again, they're nice people, and I've known them forever, and it's nice to have them back in the family. And we're going to figure this out as a group. On what level do you think Cardano and XRP working together?
Okay, so since then, Charles Hoskinson has talked more on Twitter, and this is going back to December. That particular video is from November, but since then, Charles has talked more on Twitter about the potential of a Cardano XRP partnership being something that could add liquidity from XRP, particularly through their Ripple USD stablecoin. It would, which RLUSD is potentially going multi-chain. It's a Ripple product, but it can be going multi-chain in the near future. And I believe that Ripple USD, RLUSD, will be the premier institutional grade stablecoin in the whole market. Like USDT is the stablecoin of exchanges, and USDC is the institutional stablecoin of America in certain ways, like mainly because of its proximity to Coinbase. But RLUSD, Ripple USD, will be the stable coin of the banking institutions of the world. And that kind of liquidity coming onto Cardano DeFi would be massive. And on the flip side, XRP would add, like Charles said, a fantastic liquidity and stablecoin layer. Not that Cardano does not have its own stablecoins. We've been over this. It does. But RLUSD would be a massive inclusion into the ecosystem. And in exchange, Cardano would add a fantastic DeFi layer to XRP that's truly permissionless, truly trustless, and truly decentralized. And the functionality of DeFi on XRP would go to whole new heights. And the thing that would make these two work, because it's different than Bitcoin OS, right? Like Bitcoin can run on, and we've talked about this yesterday, Bitcoin can run on Cardano DeFi natively because they're both UTXO models, right? So Bitcoin can run natively on Cardano, but the way XRP would work is through something called Midnight, which is a sort of layer 2 on Cardano that would be building out cross-chain interoperability, and the and RLUSD could come to Cardano through Midnight, and Cardano DeFi functionality could flow back to XRP through Midnight as a layer 2 interoperability protocol. So, that partnership would be absolutely epic for the crypto space. And I think that we're going to see it soon. I mean, I think we can see it this year when Charles is, Charles is talking seriously about those negotiations. You know, he's not a hyper speculative person. He, he and David Schwartz, the chief technology officer at Ripple Labs, they are talking extensively about it. So I'm hoping that breaks this year. It would be absolutely epic for both price charts, I believe. So, what are you thinking, Tyler?
I'm thinking that I'm looking something up real fast.
Go for it.
Give me a second.
That's me.
That's very gentle music.
I
Okay,
prefer
so
that.
I just asked Grok. Okay, so I guess JG, I'm going to correct myself real fast on Peanut. So there is, I guess it's not confirmed. I take it back. I guess it's not confirmed for a Netflix document series. Though, for animal rights, I can see it.
That
over
last Charles
getting
comment, bro.
right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was pretty much done. I was just saying that there's no confirmed. I guess it's just a rumor that Peanut the Squirrel will get a docu series on Netflix. Because I was like, I heard that and I wanted to fact check it, and so I asked Grok and then Googled it. So it's not confirmed, though. If it was rumored and does get confirmed, it would be a good buy.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta look at who it was rumored by. I mean, it could be, solid sources. So
Well, also people could rumor it
maybe
to
you
try to
check
get
back
it
up
hype
on that.
before it comes out.
Right.
So without looking more into it, you could act like I never said it, or you could act like I said it and maybe throw $10 at it because you never know.
Well, is that bringing us to the close?
Closing time. Da, 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 da. I know where I want. That's all I know. Pretty much the only like half sentence. But yeah, I think that's it, man. You want to you have any last thoughts before I go into the final finale last scene?
Sign us off or do our ratings. Do a quick rating. I'm gonna give mine an 8 solid.
An 8 solid.
Yep.
I'm gonna give mine. I'm gonna start. I was thinking about it the other day. I feel like I've been giving my beers a lot lower ratings than they deserve, and it's just because I'm pretty new at rating beers. But I'm gonna give this one a 7.5.
Okay.
Break side, and only because I messed up, and I poured it a 7.5-inch head. But they should take it in consideration for rookies doing that.
Well, you're weird.
7 inches.
Bro. Sign us off.
All right. Don't call me. I'll call you. Smash the like. Hit the bell to subscribe. Catch us Thursday night. We're going live. It's going to be epic because we are going to cover 2 days, not just one, but 2. And that's Trent, and I'm T-Squared, and we'll catch you all on the flippity flop. Peace. There.